Our final question today comes to us from a listener in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, who writes, "Could you explain Matthew chapter 24, verses 28 and 29?
Well, let me read this verse. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. There are many that consider that verse the most difficult one that is in the Olivet Discourse. And I'm not sure, but what I join that group, I feel like, though, that he's referring to the same thing that he referred to later on in Revelation 19, verse 18, that ye may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. The picture here is the tremendous slaughter that will take place at the coming of the Lord to the earth. It's wonderful today to talk about the love of God. And we've really had an overdose of love in the past few years, and that is if you can have an overdose, and probably you can't. You can't overemphasize the love of God. But there is another side that if it's not mentioned, you have a lopsided view, and that's the judgment of God. And this first verse, the one you refer to, it refers to the fact that there'll be such a slaughter that people won't be able to bury the dead, and the carrion will come down to eat the flesh. As it were, they're invited to this kind of a dinner because they can eat the flesh of captains and of kings and of mighty men. It speaks of the judgment of God when he comes to the earth to establish his kingdom here upon the earth. The wicked are to be judged, friends. If you go through this life rejecting God's proffered offer of love to you as it is revealed in the Lord Jesus Christ and in his death and resurrection, and that is the thing that he had to do if you are to be saved and I'm to be saved. And therefore, it's all important that you and I accept what he's done for us. Now, he died for us. And if you're willing to accept that as payment for your sin, then you'll not be judged for your sin. But there is an awful judgment coming in the future. And that's what this verse has reference to. Now, this party also gives me Matthew 24:29. I think I should read it. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. And the question that is asked, when and what period is the tribulation period? Well, the tribulation begins at when the church is removed from the earth. Someone says, will it start the next day or the next week, the next month? Well, I do not know the exact date, but it will start after the removal of the church. And at the end of that period, there will be these signs in heaven. They are presage to the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ to the earth to set up his kingdom. And so these two verses actually have to do with the Great Tribulation period, then when the Lord comes to the earth to establish his kingdom. Now, the second question this party has for verse 29 is, the power of heaven shall be shaken. To whom is this referring? Well, I think it's referring to all of creation. I think all of creation will be moved this particular time.